Hey everybody, tonight I want to shoot a video where I am wrapping up, it's less of an experiment and more of a practical demonstration. And what I've been doing is I've had a question about surface agitation and gas exchange. I had done a video, and in that video I had mentioned that you could run a tank without a filter if you set the tank up properly and so on and so forth. So somebody challenged me to simply take one of my filters off of one of my tanks and give it a month and see what happened. So of course I told them I wasn't going to do that. It's a lot of work. You have to maintain the tank differently, so on and so forth. So they then argued that my spray bar was actually causing surface agitation, so I was sort of hypocritically saying that you don't need surface agitation, and yet I still had surface agitation. So they said that if I turned my spray bars down and they were not creating any surface agitation, my fish would be gasping for air at the surface within a few hours. So I ran an experiment for 12 hours where I turned all of the spray bars down in 3 of my tanks, and after 12 hours we had a follow-up, and of course everybody was fine. But the viewer failed to mention that in a planted tank during the day when the lights are on, my plants are producing oxygen, so the water is being fortified with dissolved oxygen just through the process of photosynthesis. The real trick is getting through the night, because as soon as the lights go off, the plants stop producing oxygen and then actually begin using oxygen. So the moment your lights come on in the morning is the moment of the day when your tank has the least dissolved oxygen it's going to have. The moment the lights come on, the plants stop using oxygen and begin releasing oxygen again. So whatever you've got in your tank, the moment the lights come on in the morning, unless you're doing things with your tank, whether you're injecting stuff or you're running air stones and that sort of thing, I'm just talking about under normal circumstances, that is the moment where your tanks have the least amount of oxygen. So I decided I was going to run the demonstration overnight to show that my tanks without any surface agitation will be fine over a 12-hour dark period. And then we went ahead and came down this morning and turned all the lights on, and I brought my camera with me. So let's have a look at what happened when I turned the lights on first thing this morning. Alright everybody, it is time to wake the fish up first thing in the morning. I started an experiment yesterday, and the experiment involved reducing the surface agitation in some of my tanks, and we were going to find out whether or not that had any impact on the fish. So I went one step further, and we did the experiment over the course of the entire night. It's been 24 hours now. So this is the moment of truth. Either I've got tanks full of dead fish or fish hovering near the surface, or something. I would not say that that is any fish hovering near the surface gasping for air. So this is one of the tanks that we have done, and everybody in there, as far as I can tell, looks perfectly normal. Now this tank is absolutely full of fish, but they're small and they're all down in the nooks and crannies and they're all hiding. I'm actually waking the tanks up about half an hour earlier than I normally do. I've got work to do today, so I've got to get out of here. But within a few minutes this tank will be full of fish. They'll all rise up out of the cracks and the nooks and crannies, and I will have lots of neons swimming around. So you can see a few of these neons are already starting to come out. They don't even have their color in them yet. They wash out overnight. You can see the tail of that loach right there. He's still sleeping under one of his rocks. My striped Raphael is in there and he's doing just fine. He's getting woken up. So this tank is not having any issues with oxygen deprivation, and we are still at no surface agitation. So moving on to the angelfish tank. That doesn't look to me like I've got anybody in there gasping for air or swimming around near the surface because they are oxygen deprived. And we have pretty much no surface agitation in this tank either. We're now 24 hours in this tank, and I still have no fish struggling for oxygen. Just for the sake of turning my fish room on in the proper order, we're going to go ahead and turn the Black Ghost knife fish tank on. This is not part of the experiment. This tank is on a switch with the gourami tank. This is my brackish tank here. We'll just go ahead and get that one turned on. And then these tanks down this side of the room are all on the same switch back here. So let's see if my 125, which is the third tank in the experiment, sure doesn't look like I've got any fish in there that are struggling for oxygen or up near the surface gasping for breath or anything else. Everything looks pretty much fine, normal, and dandy. And once again, no surface agitation. Alright, let's get back to the video. Alright everybody, so there you have it. Everything was just fine, no worries whatsoever. So I have since put this tank back to the way I like it, as I have with my others. I've even done a decent water change on this tank, and I've added some plants to it since I've ended my experiment. So I think from here I'm going to actually do another video that's just going to be about the surface agitation and gas exchange and what I know about that. Rather than put this all into one video, I think I'm going to do that as a standalone video, and we can simply add this one as part of my experiment with reducing my surface agitation to near zero for 36 hours, and everything was just fine. So thanks again for watching this one. Please subscribe so you don't miss what I got coming up. I am going to do a standalone video where I am simply going to talk about the surface agitation and the gas exchange and my understanding of all that and how that works. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss it. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you real soon on the next one.